I finished 6 makeup products in May, and then in June, I don't know what happened, but I finished 9 additional products. I don't know what stars aligned for that to happen that way, but I don't imagine I'll have any big months like that moving forward. But that means I have 15 products to talk about in this Empties video, and I have tracked the uses for most of them, so I'll have some numbers to share as well. And what I've done is I've arranged them from least favorite to most favorite, and that way I can kind of end on a high note and also give you an idea of where these rank against each other. I do have 3 products in the bottom category. None of these are horrible. Obviously, they weren't so horrible that I couldn't finish them, but they're not products I'd buy again, and they're also not products I would recommend. This first one is a primer from Smashbox. It's the Photo Finish Illuminate Glow Primer with vitamin C. You can kind of see from the product on the packaging, but this had a really strong gold sheen. It was thicker than a lotion. Like, it certainly did have some weight to it, which isn't my favorite type of primer to begin with, but that gold was also very noticeable, so I couldn't just wear it on its own. Additionally, I think this is like $38, and I got 91 wears out of it, so that's a pretty high cost per use for a primer. Correction, these primers are actually $42 now. So yeah, I think there are better moisturizing primers out there if you're looking for one. And then the next 2 are setting sprays from AOA or Shop Missy. I have the Flawless Matte Setting Spray and the Lock in Your Makeup A+ setting spray. These each cost $1.88, and the setting spray in the black container took 50 uses to finish, and the one in the pink container took 63 uses to finish. These were literally both just okay. They didn't do anything for oil control. They didn't really make my face feel any different after applying them, except for they felt more wet. The sprayer on the black one was very aggressive, and I had to spray it from really far away to not just completely douse one section of my face. I really liked the sprayer on this one. It was a lot better, but the product inside wasn't special, and so I wouldn't recommend trying either of these, even though they are very affordable. The next category is the biggest, and that's the middle of the road, perfectly fine product category. I had no problem finishing all of these. I enjoyed using them while I had them, but I don't feel the urge to go out and purchase them again. I have a mascara here from Clio, the Kill Lash Super Proof Mascara Volume Curling. This is a waterproof product, I believe. But it wasn't that hard to get off. My cleansing oil did a pretty good job at removing it. The formula was nice. It did hold a curl really nicely, and it didn't get too clumpy or weigh my lashes down, which was great. But this is a thinner formula, and I found that I had to continuously build and build in order to get the volume that I was looking for. Versus like the Ilia mascara, I really like that one. I like the Pillow Talk one from Charlotte Tilbury. I like the wands for those. I feel like I'm really able to push through each lash and push my lashes upward. So even though this was really great to wear, I don't need to run out and buy it again. And the same can be said for this face powder from Wonderskin. This is the FYP Filter Powder, and it's just the translucent shade. I don't think they have any other shades. This was white in the pan but looked translucent on your face. I think all translucent powders do have sort of a brightening effect on my skin, and I am quite pale, so if you had a deeper skin tone, it likely would have done the same for you. I prefer those sort of powders. I prefer them over tinted face powders because I do apply quite a bit in order to fully set my face. I received the Smashbox primer in PR, and I also received this powder in PR. And the reason why I wouldn't purchase it myself is because it's $21 and I only got 58 uses out of it. I hit pan after 31 uses. I go through pressed powders really quickly, and so by default I don't prefer purchasing more expensive higher end pressed powders. I have an HD pressed powder from e.l.f. that's just as good as this, and it's like a third of the price. So I really enjoyed this. I love this purple packaging. It's really pretty, but I don't recommend going out and purchasing this yourself. I think there are more affordable versions out there. Oh my goodness, I have 2 single eyeshadow empties. I don't think this has ever happened before where I finished 2 at the same time. I've been actively working on both of these since October of last year, and I have a matte shade from Colourpop in the shade Issues. This was a light peach matte color, and then Arcana from Clionadh, which was I think it was a duochrome. It was like light blue and silvery and like a really light tan brown. Beautiful shades. I really loved these. I don't have exact uses, but I've been tracking since October of last year. In order to finish Arcana, I wore it an additional 160 times to finish. And with Issues, I wore it an additional 188 times, and they had already been worn quite a bit before bringing them into that project. I really enjoyed both of them, but I don't feel the need to repurchase either of these. I don't even know if Arcana is still available on the Clionadh website, but even so, I think I've got my fill. I have plenty of other eyeshadows to wear, so I don't feel like I need to repurchase either of these. A cream blush. I really loved this while I had it. It's the Merit Cream Blush in the shade Beverly Hills. I've done some makeup surgery on it to make sure I could get everything out. I wore this 227 times to finish it, which is wonderful. And I think I needed to start decanting it or taking the product out of the container after 199 uses. It is a more expensive product, so I was glad to see that I got a lot of wears out of it before it was empty. I liked the formula. It was kind of balmy. It was a more sheer formula, so it was really easy to work with. Balmy, but lightweight. It wasn't like a heavy balmy feel. But again, with this one, I wore it so many times that I felt ready when it was gone, and I don't need to replace this. Same with these two products. This is the e.l.f. Black Cherry Lipstick. It was a Clinique Black Honey dupe. I wore this 149 times to finish it, and it was a really nice lightweight tinted balm. It was a little bit deeper, so it added a really nice depth to whatever lip color I was trying to go for that day. And I enjoyed wearing it while I had it, but I certainly don't feel the urge to go out and replace this. The Lisa Eldridge lip gloss I really liked. I like that it doesn't have any taste or scent, and it's a thicker gloss without feeling too thick. So it's very moisturizing, really beautiful formula. I think the price is the main reason why I wouldn't want to buy this again. I did wear it 167 times before it was empty, and that includes taking the stop route and getting everything that I could out of it. But this is $26, and I know of a lot more affordable lip glosses that I like just as much as this one. Okay, this is one product that's sort of in the middle between my middle of the road category and my top favorites, and that's the NYX Fat Lip Oil in the shade That's Chic. I loved the color, I loved the formula, I like that it had a really nice fruity scent, but it didn't really taste very strong. I like that it's affordable. I wore this 167 times before it was gone, just like the Muse gloss actually. They had the exact same number of uses. I'm only just realizing that now. Interesting. But actually finishing this was kind of a pain in the butt. There was some product that sort of separated from the rest of the gloss and stayed at the bottom, and that felt kind of odd to me. And then after I took the stop route and used the rest of it, like pieces of, you might be able to even see, there's kind of like a patch that was worn away on the edge of the doe foot applicator. I think pieces of that fuzzy part got into the gloss, and I'm able to more easily see that on the sides of the tube now. That's not cute. I don't like that. And that is reason enough for me not to purchase it again, but I really loved this, and this is one of those glosses that made my lips feel better if they were really chapped or if they just felt extra dry, or if I had some dry patches on my lips. I feel like every once in a while that happens. This helped to heal them faster and help them feel a lot better through that process. And actually, I do have one more product in that category where like it's perfect except for one thing, and that's the Wonderskin Wonder Bleeding Lip Mask in the shade Whimsical. I love how this makes my lips look. As long as you don't concentrate it too much on your very inner lip, it won't look patchy at all. And I find that the Sachi lip stains are the same way. If you just focus it on the outer portion, it's beautiful. I love it. Once I got into the habit of putting this on every morning, especially with the brow stain from the same brand, I just really enjoyed it. And I have another one that I will enjoy as I'm wearing that one too. The problem is I got so few uses out of it before it dried up. This is $22 full price, and I only got 30 wears out of it before it was dried up, and I couldn't put any more left on my lips. The Sachi ones, I think I got 48 or 49 uses out of one of those before it was gone, but that's like half the price. So you're getting more uses and you're paying way less than this one. I loved it. I loved wearing this, but I cannot justify that price. I'm gonna finish the other one and then not move forward. It's literally a great, fantastic product, except for that one thing. The next three are favorites, absolutely repurchases, things that I recommend, and I thoroughly enjoyed every single time I wore them. One of them is the NYX Lip Pencil in the shade Mauve. I just really love this color, but it's also my favorite lip pencil formula. And I have lots of NYX lip pencils, so I don't need to run out. Actually, I already have repurchased it. Fantastic. You get a lot of wears out of this too, and it's very affordable. I don't have exact wears for this because I've had it for a very long time, and I just lost track at some point, but this is wonderful. I have talked about this formula in general as my favorite lip liner formula many times. And then I did want to shout out the Wonderskin Brow Stain because I loved this and I did get a lot more wears out of this. This is also $22 and I got 104 wears out of it before it dried up. This is fantastic, especially in the summer or if you live in a warmer climate where you want your brows to stay on, or you want something that looks slightly more natural than actually using a lot of pencil products or pomades. I would wear this on its own sometimes just to kind of fill in some gaps, but I would also wear it with other brow products if I wanted like a really bold brow that didn't look cartoonish. I loved it, and the next time Wonderskin has a sale, I'll probably buy one for myself and then one in a darker shade for my mom because I think she would really like this too. And then lastly, I have a Vieve concealer. This is in the shade Light 1. Another super favorite. I like that it has more of like a whipped texture, so it's not super runny. Really nice coverage. It's a higher coverage concealer. I also really love this as a foundation too. I mixed this with a little bit of green color corrector and it looks fantastic. The color just fits me so well. I'm not entirely sure what's in these undertones to do that, but it's just such a great color. And I did do a more thorough review of this in a full face of Vieve video quite a while ago, and I sung its praises back then too. Including wearing it as a foundation, like I would count that as 2 uses because I was putting it over a much larger part of my face. I got 233 uses out of it. So even though it's a more high-end price point, yeah, it's $31, getting over 200 uses out of it is really good. And that is everything. I think I'm at a good pace right now where if I do an update every 2 months, I have enough products to talk about without the video getting too long. And I do have an Empties playlist that has spanned since the very beginning of my channel, so if you'd like Empties videos and you want to watch more, I do have a playlist of years worth of Empties content. And you can expect my next Empties video to come out at the end of August or the beginning of September. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!